suddenly we find maps being plastered on the walls of the Dhaka University, maps showing a greater Bangladesh, and they are saying that including Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, northeastern region and Myanmar's Arakan province. Now suddenly a map appears saying that they will have a greater Bangladesh comprising Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, Northeast India, northeastern states and Myanmar's Arakan province. Absolutely bombastic idea. Now this map has suddenly got pasted or plastered in the walls of the Dhaka University, and this map has come up under the banner of Sultanate-e-Bangla. Sultanate-e-Bangla is a nascent Islamist radical group that has been emerged in Bangladesh post Muhammad Yunus's appearance in Dhaka. Now the point is, who is this Sultanate-e-Bangla? What is this Sultanate-e-Bangla? What we know now is that Sultanate-e-Bangla is a new Islamist radical group. It enjoys apparently the backing of a Turkish NGO. Now Turkish NGO. Now what is Turkey's equations with Bangladesh? That also we need to understand. Turkey is ruled by a political party known as the AKP. It is the Justice and Development Party. Currently its president is Erdogan. He is the Turkey's president, Erdogan. Now we all know in the last couple of weeks during the conflict between India and Pakistan, we saw how President Erdogan of Turkey was backing Pakistan. He has gone all out to extend his backing for Pakistan, and during the conflict we saw weaponized Turkish drones being sent off by Pakistan to the Indian side as part of their raid into Indian territory, which went unsuccessful. That's a different matter. And we have also got to know that at least 2 Turkish drone operators were killed in the Indian assault inside Pakistan in the current conflict. So Turkey's equation with Pakistan against India is absolutely clear now. That is the backdrop, and therefore a Turkish NGO backing this Sultanate-e-Bangla, the new militant group, new terrorist group or a new Islamist group, whatever we call it, in Bangladesh, is not come as a surprise. The Turkish NGO obviously would not be backing an Islamist radical group against another country without the backing of their own government in Turkey. So that is what we need to understand first of all. And elements in Qatar, we know Qatar is the headquarters of the Hamas and all other radical Islamist group, and Qatar has a very good equation with Turkey. And recently when Muhammad Yunus last month went to Qatar, he got a very, very warm welcome in Qatar. The Qatari leaders had welcomed Muhammad Yunus. So there is a nexus growing, on one side is Turkey, on the other side is Qatar, and it is Pakistan that is facilitating the bonding between Turkey and Bangladesh. That bonding is being facilitated by Pakistan. So post Sheikh Hasina, who was ousted on 5th of August last year, there's been a lot of developments as far as the Islamic radicalism is concerned in Bangladesh, which is a matter of concern for India. Now, what we saw in the last couple of weeks is that the Qatar giving a warm welcome to the Bangladeshis unelected ad hoc leader Muhammad Yunus. Then we saw Pakistan facilitating Turkey and Bangladesh's equations, and Turkey has promised to send military supplies to the Bangladesh armed forces, and the AKP, or the Justice and Development Party in Bangladesh, that have increased its contacts. The Justice and Development, or the AKP party in Turkey, which is the ruling party headed by Erdogan right now, who is the president, they have ties with Bangladesh in the diplomatic front, in the economic sphere, in the military front, and ideological front. Now, going into the ideology of the AKP, or the Justice and Development Party in Turkey, now it has changed. You know, their ideology has seen a shift over the years. It was a liberal democratic party. It had a liberal democratic stance, but now they have shifted towards more radicalized version of right wing force. So it's a right wing political party with a strong Islamist ideology. So that is the background of the AKP. Therefore, I am not surprised that a Turkish NGO is helping this design. Now, what are we going to do in India? See, just coming up with this is a grand design which is ridiculous actually, but the fact that the Muhammad Yunus regime is allowing this kind of elements to engage in anti-India propaganda, you know, so-called greater Bangladesh with encompassing Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, northeastern states, Myanmar, Arakan state. So the fact that the Yunus regime is allowing this kind of forces to openly indulge in anti-India activities, that is a matter of concern. And yes, the second matter of concern is, of course, the Yunus regime is in the grip of the Islamist forces. And of course, let me tell you also that AKP party had earlier backed the Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh. So it has a background of support to Bangladesh. It's not that Turkey has suddenly come up with extended its support to Bangladesh. There is a history to it. 10 to 15 years ago, this bonding started when the AKP party in Turkey has started extending support to the Jamaat-e-Islami, another radical party that was a part of the Khalida Zia's BNP government in Bangladesh before Sheikh Hasina. So on the whole, Muhammad Yunus has set his eyes on northeastern region. There is no question of Bangladesh being any time succeeding in annexing even an inch of Indian territory in northeast India. But the fact that this has become a nuisance, that Muhammad Yunus has become, he has got a lot of nuisance value as far as India is concerned, and he is deliberately provoking India. And if you ask me to recap, Chipan, you know, the moment he came to power in August last year, he invited the Pakistani army to come and train the Bangladesh army. He hosted some Pakistani generals in the army cantonment in Rangpur, which is close to the Siliguri corridor. Then he goes to China and says that northeastern India is landlocked, and therefore their only access to the sea is through us, and we are the sole guardian of the ocean, and so on and so forth, and invited the Chinese to come and open shop and said that you can expand your economy along northeastern India, so on and so forth. And then he goes on to say that when a visiting Nepalese parliamentarian, Deputy Speaker of Nepal, had visited Dhaka a couple of days ago, Yunus said that we can work wonders together, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan and northeastern India. We can have an integrated economy. So he sought to look at northeast as an entity independent of India. So these are the ridiculous talk by Muhammad Yunus, and he is emerging as one of the biggest irritants for India at this point in time. Chipan.
Well, that's right. Wasbir, you rightly pointed out that Bangladesh will not be able to, in any given point of time, will not be able to annex even an inch of Indian land. Now, but this is a psychological war because he is time and again provoking India after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. So now what are the options before India to put Bangladesh in place? And is this the time India acts, Wasbir?
Well, you see, everybody is looking at interest at the regime in Dhaka, because everybody knows that that Muhammad Yunus doesn't have the people's mandate. He has the mandate of only a small section of the Bangladeshi society, some of the radical students and some of the Islamist political forces, and very soon they are going to take his entire regime under its grip. That is already emerging, that we are already seeing that. And now, therefore, since he is an unelected leader, sooner than later he has to hold elections. And in fact, the Bangladesh army chief is repeatedly saying that there has to be elections. He has even set a deadline for elections. But this man, Muhammad Yunus, is in no mood to hold elections. He wants to cling on to power as long as possible. With that motive, he has completely banned the main one of the major political parties which has been in power for decades. decades, that is the Awami League. He has banned all political activity of the Awami League, and that is a clear indication that this man, Muhammad Yunus, wants to hold on to power and try and legitimize his tenure or legitimize his regime. That's what he may be trying to do. But if you ask me what should India do, India is already engaging at certain levels, may not be very high profile at this point in time, but India would definitely wait for an elected government to come in place. And you know, another thing which we must also note is that India's loss in a friendly, as far as the friendly government in Bangladesh is concerned, may not necessarily be China's gain, you know, because Chinese also must be wanting to see whether they can actually invest in the leadership of Muhammad Yunus, or whether, therefore, the Chinese also are waiting to see what kind of a government emerges in Bangladesh as and when elections are held. And same is the case with India. India also will be taking a close look at the state of affairs. India is of course not taking chances. India has stepped up its security along the Siliguri corridor by several notches, and India is monitoring the situation very, very closely. And India is also taking steps. For example, it first of all withdrew the transshipment facilities, and now it has prevented import of Bangladeshi goods or goods into Bangladesh through Indian land ports. So India is slowly squeezing Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is beginning to feel the pinch. So that kind of treatment India is going to continue giving, and at the same time wait and watch as to what kind of a government form or emerges in Bangladesh in the days ahead.